Most people say they want freedom. Freedom from pressure, freedom from rules, freedom from responsibility. But if you listen carefully, what they're really asking for isn't freedom at all. It's comfort. And comfort is not freedom. It's dependence disguised as peace. True freedom is demanding. It requires discipline, structure, and sacrifice long before it gives you relief. That's why most people never reach it. Comfort feels easier, freedom feels heavier, and most people choose what feels good today over what protects them tomorrow. Comfort feels like freedom until you depend on it. Comfort creates the illusion of choice. Sleep in when you want, avoid difficult conversations, spend money impulsively, delay effort until you feel ready. At first it feels liberating, but comfort quietly creates dependence. You begin relying on things staying easy. You need stable conditions to function. You need motivation to appear before you act. You need external support to keep moving. That's not freedom. That's fragility. True freedom doesn't collapse when conditions change. Comfort does. Comfort is dependence, not independence. The more comfortable your life becomes, the less capable you are of handling disruption. Missed paycheck, panic, unexpected challenge, avoidance, pressure, burnout. Comfort lowers your tolerance for stress. It teaches your nervous system that discomfort is danger, instead of training it to see discomfort as growth. This is how people become trapped without chains. They aren't forced to stay where they are. They just can't tolerate leaving. Freedom requires structure, not chaos. Most people misunderstand freedom as the absence of rules, but chaos isn't freedom, it's instability. Real freedom is built on self-imposed structure, routines, standards, boundaries. Structure creates predictability. Predictability creates control. Control creates options. The more structured your life is, the more freedom you gain. You don't waste energy making basic decisions. You don't negotiate with impulse. You don't rely on mood. You operate with clarity. That's freedom. Discipline is the foundation of freedom. Discipline is often framed as punishment. In reality, discipline is protection. It protects your future from your impulses. It protects your health from neglect. It protects your time from distraction. Without discipline, freedom collapses into indulgence. With discipline, freedom expands. People who are disciplined can travel anywhere, adapt quickly, and handle pressure without breaking. People who rely on comfort cannot. Short-term pleasure creates long-term limitation. Every comfortable decision borrows from your future. Skipping effort today means paying with stress tomorrow. Avoiding discomfort now creates restriction later. Pleasure feels harmless because the cost is delayed, but delayed costs compound. Comfort trains you to choose ease over growth. Over time, your life shrinks. Your ambition lowers, your tolerance for challenge disappears, and one day you realize you have fewer options, not because the world restricted you, but because comfort did. Responsibility is the price of admission. True freedom demands responsibility. Responsibility for your schedule, responsibility for your health, responsibility for your finances, responsibility for your actions. Most people reject responsibility because it feels heavy, but responsibility doesn't restrict freedom. It creates it. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for permission. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop needing rescue. Responsibility gives you control, and control is freedom. Why high performers choose discomfort? People who experience real freedom don't avoid discomfort. They schedule it. Early mornings, hard workouts, difficult conversations, delayed gratification. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because they understand leverage. Temporary discomfort buys long-term independence. Comfort buys long-term dependence. That's the trade. Comfort makes you easy to control. Comfortable people are predictable. They avoid risk, they avoid conflict, they avoid pressure. That makes them manageable by employers, systems, habits, and fear. Free people are harder to control because they can tolerate discomfort. They can say no, they can walk away, they can rebuild. Comfort removes that ability. Freedom is the ability to say no. One of the clearest signs of freedom is the ability to refuse. No to distractions, no to unhealthy environments, no to draining relationships, no to short-term temptations. Comfort avoids conflict. Freedom enforces boundaries. Boundaries protect time, energy, and identity. Without them, life becomes reactive. Comfort shrinks. Life quietly. Comfort doesn't destroy ambition overnight. It erodes it slowly. Goals get smaller. Risk tolerance drops. Standards soften. Not because people become lazy, but because comfort convinces them effort is unnecessary, until effort becomes unavoidable. And by then, resilience is gone. Freedom is quiet, structured, and often boring. Real freedom doesn't look exciting. It looks repetitive, predictable, disciplined. It's not flashy. It doesn't seek validation. It doesn't need to prove anything. It works quietly, day after day. Redefining freedom the right way. Freedom isn't doing whatever you want. Freedom is being able to do what matters, consistently. It's having the strength to delay pleasure, the discipline to maintain structure, and the responsibility to manage yourself. That's not easy. That's why it's rare. Comfort feels good today. Freedom protects you tomorrow. If you want real freedom, choose responsibility over relief. Choose structure over impulse. Choose discipline over convenience. Because true freedom doesn't come from avoiding pressure. It comes from being strong enough to carry it.